Hello everyone and welcome to Finite Math 1324 for summer. This is going to be a quick 5 weeks. My name's Terry Barnes and I'm going to help you through that journey. It will be quick, but the good news is after 5 weeks you'll have 3 hours of that credit that you're looking for. So hopefully we can get that all done with minimal amount of pain. Alright, so what I want to do in this video, and hopefully it won't be too long, but talk about the buttons that are over here and how I expect you to go through the course. This is the home page, and this is where announcements will be. There's some publisher announcements here, and you might want to run this browser check to start with and make sure that your computer is set up correctly. That'd be the only time that you would have to do that. And then my announcements will start right down here. And that one, the first one was telling you to be sure and watch the orientation video. So if you're watching that, you know what's housed under that button. And then the course home, watch for announcements. I will put those out periodically, and that's a good way to keep up with what's going on. All right, so that's that button. If we go to Syllabus, clickable link, and we see the syllabus here, and let's go through this a little bit. Here's my contact information. So my email address is right here. My office phone, if you felt like you needed to speak your message, you could do that, and it would convert it to an email. I'm not on campus summer 2, so that would be a way if you needed to talk with me and I could get back with you. The things you need for this course, you obviously, if you're watching this video, you've already gotten your access code. You do need a graphing calculator. It's going to be a requirement for your success in the course. And I use a TI 83 or 84 in my videos, so that's kind of the, if you already know how to use a graphing calculator and you know how to do, you know, finance and matrices and that sort of thing on it, well, I suppose you could use your own. But otherwise, we really should try to get a TI 83 or 84. And there are some emulators. If you have an Android phone, there is a good one, so you could send me a message that you need that link, that app, and I could get that to you. I'm sorry, I don't think there is one for it on the iPhone side, but there is a good TI 83 app for the Android phones or Android tablets. So I will let you know that if you contact me. And then we go down a little bit. We'll talk about that. Grading information. So there's a homework section for each section of the course, and you can do those homeworks as many times as you want to improve your grade until the due date, and your due date's going to be at the end of the course. So you can do your homework over and over and get to 100. So that's what you want to shoot for. Homework's going to count 30% of your total grade. Tests, there's 5 tests that are going to be over chapter content, and that will count 50%. And the final exam will count 20%. Here's a note of interest. Before each test is available, all the homework has to be completed with at least a 70. So you can't access a test if you haven't done the homework, and you have to have passed the homework. So that kind of makes sense. You won't be ready for the test if you haven't done that. So be sure you're working on your homework diligently on that. Let's see, attendance for this online course. You can refer to this guide for MCC's policy, but for this course, it's online. It says you should have activity, homework or test in the course each week, and I will run a report on Sundays. So you need to have what you're going to do done by Saturday night at midnight to stay off of that report for that week. Anytime you don't log work in a whole week, that counts as an absence, and you're really only allowed one such week of inactivity before you could be dropped. So it's easy to stay off that report. Do a homework, do a test, do something that week, and that will keep you off of that. All right, the rest of that is information for you that you should look and you should read it, but we're not going to go over it in this video. The calendar, again, that's a link. This, if you'll note, this says suggested calendar. There's a lot of information in this course. And you can set it up however you want. Work with your own schedule. You may have a week where you're really busy with other things and you can't do all of this, but you do some of it. That's fine. Everything's due at the end. But this is a way to break it up that might work for you. Okay? Might work. So, suggested calendar to kind of keep you on track, but you're going to be busy. There's a lot to do. Okay? All right. So that's the calendar. I've got a button called Calculator Help, and there's an online tutorial for the 8384, and here's another one. So the assumption is that you've had some college algebra. I know that's not a prereq, but if you've had something like that you're pretty familiar with the calculator. If not, there is some help there, and that should be okay for you. All right. So here's how I would like you to approach the course. There's 3 buttons here: problem sets, lecture notes, lecture videos. So on the problem sets, it says click on the chapter button to the left that you would like to access. So if you start on chapter 2, there's a problem set for each section. If we go to the first one and we get a set of problems, all right? This is a set of problems that's going to prepare you to do the homework. So this is kind of your in-class work, if you will. All right, so you have that in front of you. Then if you go to the lecture notes and click chapter 2 and we hit 2.1, this is the information part, as if you were in class and getting some lecture notes. And some people could read this and kind of get through that. And then here's the problems worked. All right, so same problems that you have a blank set of, but these are worked. So you need lecture notes to go with the problem set. Then when you go to lecture videos, these are housed at YouTube. And so that will kind of avoid, some people with different service providers have had a little trouble accessing videos that stream from our MCC server. So I did these on YouTube, and you can just click on the playlist. If we click on the chapter 2 playlist, it takes you to my business calculus channel, and you can see we've got 2.1 through 2.6, and so you could just click on a video and you could watch what's going on in that section. So hopefully that will work well for you. When you've done all that prep, say you've done everything for 2.1 and you're ready to do the homework for 2.1, click on the homework button, and all of the sections for the homework are listed here. This is the due date. Look here. August 11th, which is when the course ends at 3 p.m. Everything's due then. You certainly don't want to wait till then to be working on stuff, but there are no due dates throughout the 5 weeks. It's all due at the end. So this gives you complete flexibility, but also complete responsibility. So keep that in mind as you are working. So let's look in at the first section. So there's 7 questions. Some of the homework sets have more, some have less, but let's look at question 1. So it says use the echelon method, which you would have studied in your problem set and lecture notes, and you'd have watched the video, and so you would know how to do this problem. And either it'll be infinitely many solutions, no solutions, or there'll be one solution. Well, if it's this one and you click in the box, you see that you get a palette of icons here. So if you needed a fraction or an absolute value, an ordered pair is what we need. So if I click that, it gives you that, and all you have to do is put in the numbers. So pay attention to the directions. Those are important, and you can use the palette. Over to the right are some helpful aids. The Help Me Solve This will kind of prompt you through this particular problem, asking you to give your answers and helping you through that. Or you could view an example, which is actually what I've done in my lecture notes for you. And you might note that sometimes they may be doing something by hand, we may be doing it on the calculator. You might get different methods. Doesn't matter to me which one you use, but the one that I have taught with is certainly what I would be doing if I were you. You could go to the textbook. You could also, if you're really stuck, click Ask My Instructor, and this will shoot an email to me. It will be a direct link to this question you're working on, and I will know it's coming from you. Type your question or your issue in this box and hit send, and it will come directly to me. And I will try to get back to you as quickly as I can. So you can go through these 7 questions, and maybe you don't do all of them, maybe you do, but you hit save at the end, and save's down at the bottom right here, and we want to make sure that we hit save to get through there. And if you put in an answer and it's wrong, so say I put 6, I have no idea what the answer is, and I say check answer. If it's wrong, it's going to give you a little hint of what you might have done, and then it'll let you answer it 2 more times. If you get it right, great. If not, it'll say that one's wrong, but you can actually get a similar question and do it again. So at the end, be sure you hit save, and you'll be done with that question. You can move to the others. You'll be done with this section. And see, this is reminding me I haven't hit save, but I'm going to say yes, I want to leave. All right. I don't use the study plan, so anytime that you see the study plan listed, just ignore that. That's not something I have enabled here. All right, quizzes and tests. Say you've done everything for Chapter 2 and you're ready for the test. If you click there, let's see if I can get that over a little bit. All right, so all the tests are due the same time, August 11th, 3 p.m. Now you'll note these little flags. So on Chapter 2 flag, it says you have to score a 70% on all the homeworks. And so that's going to come up and tell you if you haven't done that. If you've got one homework that you've got a 65 on, it's going to remind you to go back and score higher so that you can take the test. All the tests have 2 hours on them, and if you can't really see all the way to the screen here, I'm so sorry about that, I can't move it right now, but you have 2 tries on every chapter test. The higher of the 2 tries will figure in your average. So first one might be your review. You might take it and kind of figure out what the test is going to be like, and then you'd be ready to take it the second time to get a higher grade. The final exam has 2.5 hours on it, and you only get 1 try on that. All right? So that's how the quizzes and tests will work. Let's see, grade book. You see that I opened to 1, so right now it has a 0 there for me. If you want to see your overall score, you can click that, and of course I have a 0, but yours will have, whatever homework you've done, whatever tests you've taken, it will figure in. So you could always check your overall score right then. Here's the book, chapter contents, and say we wanted to look at chapter 2. If I click that, wanted to go to 2.1. Here's the multimedia e-text for that. Takes a little bit of time to load up, but it is a nice e-book. I don't think you'll need it. I think I've given you everything that I'd like you to know out of the sections, but if you did want to go look at the book and read through, it's got a nice book here. I bring some of the things from the book into my lecture notes, and so you could go through, and anything that you need to look at there, you could. You can highlight, you can bookmark, there's all kinds of things. It's a nice book. All right, let's go back up here. So I think that will get you going on your course. Again, email me, contact me, I'll be in contact with you, and we will get through this. Good luck.